Hey guys, in this video we'll be looking at the reactions of alkalis, so stay tuned. If you haven't watched my videos on the reactions of acids, chemical properties of acids, the video link is at the corner. So for acids it was ABCM, and for alkalis it is AAM. General reactions of alkalis. Alkalis react with three different types of substances. First is the same as acids. If acids react with alkali, alkali reacts with acids as well in the same way. And then we have alkali reacting with ammonium salts, and the last one is alkali reacting with metal ions. Reaction of alkali and acid. Remember that alkali is a base, so when a base reacts with acid we only get salt and water. Example, sodium hydroxide in the aqueous state is an alkali reacting with hydrochloric acid, also in the aqueous state. We get salt. The salt is formed when sodium displaces hydrogen from the acid, so we get sodium chloride and water. Water will be in the liquid form. Another example, potassium hydroxide with sulfuric acid. So the salt here will form when potassium takes the place of hydrogen here. So we have potassium sulfate and water. The second reaction is alkali with ammonium salts. Ammonium salts are salts that have ammonium as the cation. So when we react ammonium salts with alkali, what we get is salt and water as before, but with the extra ammonia gas here. Example, sodium hydroxide in the aqueous state reacting with ammonium chloride. So ammonium chloride is an ammonium salt. Ammonium is the cation, and chloride is the anion that comes from an acid. So it can be chloride, it can be nitrate, it can be sulfate. These are all ammonium salts. When ammonium salts react with an alkali, we get a salt, a different salt. So this salt is formed by the cation from the alkali and the anion from the ammonium salt. In this case it will be sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is soluble, so it's aqueous state plus water plus ammonia. So these two is default. So the ammonia comes from the ammonium, and this process requires heating in order to take place. Another example, potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide added with ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate is an ammonium salt. Ammonium is the cation here. So the salt that is formed as a product will be a combination of the cation from the alkali and the anion from the ammonium salt. So we have potassium nitrate, KNO3, potassium nitrate, plus water plus ammonia gas. Just a note here, ammonia gas is detected by using moist red litmus paper. When we place moist red litmus paper at the mouth of the test tube, then the moist red litmus paper will turn blue because ammonia gas is alkaline. Ammonia also has a characteristic pungent smell. Acids react with metal, but alkali react with metal ions, and these metal ions will form insoluble metal hydroxides after reacting with alkali. So this is not applicable to all metals, only the metal ions that will result in an insoluble metal hydroxide when it becomes the metal hydroxide. We will look at this further in the salt topic, and what will be left is the cation from the alkali. So basically the metal ion and the cation from the alkali switch places. For example, we have sodium hydroxide reacting with iron 2 ion. So for the product, the iron 2 ion takes the place of sodium here, and we get iron 2 hydroxide. This iron 2 hydroxide is insoluble in water and therefore is in the solid state, and the other one that is left will be the sodium ion. So this is the cation from the alkali, the sodium here from the sodium hydroxide. Now these ions here, metal ions, normally do not exist on their own. We will not have a solution of cations. the cations normally exist in ionic compound. So the solution will be a solution of an ionic compound that contains these metal ions. For example, in this case here, iron 2 ions may come from a solution of iron 2 nitrate. For example, it can be any other soluble salt that contains these cations. So the reaction is actually between sodium hydroxide and iron 2 nitrate. Then these nitrate ions will also be the anions of the cation from the alkali. So in this example, it will be sodium nitrate. We have iron 2 nitrate, then it becomes sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate is also soluble. So this is without the anion, but in actual fact, it comes as an ionic compound. Another example is magnesium ion. Again, magnesium ion will exist as an ionic compound with another anion, such as nitrate or sulfate, any other soluble salt, and the anion will also be the anion of the salt here. This will be a different salt, another soluble salt. So in this reaction, magnesium will swap places with potassium. So we get magnesium hydroxide, which is an insoluble metal hydroxide and therefore exists in the solid state, and what is left will be potassium ion. This is the cation from the alkali. So the reactions of alkali, we have three. AAM. Alkali reacts with acid, reacts with ammonium salt, and reacts with metal ion. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you've learned something. If you have, please do support me by hitting the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I'll be producing at least one video a week. I'll see you in the next video.